If you feel less creative than you used to, I need you to hear this. You didn't lose your creativity because right now something else is shaping how you think and it's a lot less obvious. There's no doubt that the internet has revolutionized the space of creative production and distribution. Platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Spotify are the largest discovery engines for new content. But behind this creative digital ecosystem lies a hidden power that shapes everything we see, namely the content recommendation algorithm. Hi, I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, my name is Sarah Kurdi, and I talk about technology, startups, and internet media. I also discuss how new technologies impact our life and society in the context of the Middle East and North Africa region. So if that is of interest to you, then you might consider subscribing to the channel and turning on the notifications bell so that you get notified when new videos are uploaded. I'd also recommend you watch the channel promo to get to know what we're doing here and the type of content you expect to see on here. You'll find the link to the video in the top right corner of the screen. The whole point of content recommendation systems, especially when it comes to social media platforms, is to personalize your content feed to keep you engaged and on the platform for as long as possible. These algorithms usually achieve this by matching user interests based on watch history, search behavior, and engagement. But these algorithms are a double-edged sword because some people argue that content recommendation systems basically prioritize or push content that's safe, viral, and predictable over content that's new, original, and unconventional. This raises the question of, is the internet with its algorithm-driven platforms essentially killing your creativity? In this video, we're going to attempt to answer this question by exploring the social, behavioral, and technological impact of algorithm-driven content on both viewers and content creators. Let's start with the impact on viewers. If you take a look at your TikTok's For You page or Instagram's Explore page or YouTube's suggested videos in the Up Next sidebar, you'll instantly notice why these social platforms have been incredibly successful and quite addictive in nature. Think about it. The promise of these social media platforms is a perfectly personalized stream of content that's crafted to match our interests and desires. And while I personally think personalized content feeds have been instrumental in the way we consume digital media and are exposed to cultural trends, but they also mean that we're technically stuck in these endless algorithmic feedback loops that are suggesting more of the same content. In other words, these content recommendation systems are limiting our exposure to creative diversity. Thankfully, social media platforms are now aware of this issue. Last year, Instagram introduced your algorithm, a new way to see and control the type of content that's being suggested to you on the Reels and Explore pages on the app, where you can specifically type in the topics that you're interested to see, and your choices will be reflected in the type of Reels that will be shown to you. Now, let's talk about the impact of these algorithms on content creators because I have a lot to share with you. First, some social media platforms reinforce specific types of content by design. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram emphasize dopamine-driven feedback in the form of likes, views, and comments. This in turn pressures creators to replicate popular formats and trends to maintain visibility. This is usually the case with short-form content creators who face the fear of being forgotten by the algorithm if they don't keep up with all of the latest dance challenges, lip syncs, and aesthetically curated vlogs. Critics argue that this creates a copycat culture that discourages risk-taking and experimenting with new creative ways of self-expression. Second, some people argue that the constant presence of quantified metrics such as likes, shares, and view counts can corrupt the very engine of creativity, which is inherent motivation. So instead of doing it for the joy and challenge of the work itself, content creators start to pursue viral fame. This leads to a subtle shift in the mindset of content creators who, instead of thinking, is this meaningful and true to my vision, will look at their content and think, will this perform well on the algorithm? Unfortunately, as a content creator, I ask myself this question every time I sit down to create a new video. Third, making a living as a content creator requires a constant output of content that is optimized for engagement. In this context, most creators frequently sacrifice quality and originality to fit their ideas into these predictable, monetizable formats. This leads to what Canadian-British author, journalist, and tech activist Cory Doctorow calls platform decay, which is a process where these social media platforms gradually degrade both the user and content creator experience in order to maximize profit. Finally, one of the major developments in the age of algorithms is the rise of artificial intelligence as a content creator. Some people fear that this threatens human creativity by flooding social media platforms with machine-generated content or automating creative jobs. My personal experience has been with AI acting as a brainstorming partner that helps me with ideation. I personally think AI is enabling new hybrid forms of creative expression and helping content creators speed up some parts of the production process. Content recommendation algorithms remain the most powerful discovery tools for new creative content and connections. Ultimately, their impact on creativity depends on how they're designed, how users engage with them, and how society holds these technologies accountable. If you like this video, then you might also enjoy the video where we talked about the ethical challenges and privacy implications of digital twin technology. You'll find the link to the video somewhere on the screen. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.